I'm David Heiner. Welcome to the A to Z of mega fundraising ideas. I'm going to give you over 100 inspiring ideas, many of which I've used myself, but all of which have, over time by other people, been used to raise pots of cash for charities, good causes and organisations. It's just a little caveat I have to say on all these things, that what I'm giving you is meant and shared with only a positive intent. It's meant to give you ideas, use them at your own risk, but always please have the charity or the organisation's reputation in mind when you do whatever it is you do. If you can do events, or if you do events, make sure you've got insurance. If you use any suppliers, make sure that they are the best that you can use, and protect yourself, your reputation and your well-being. Always protect the reputation and the goodwill of the charity, and of course any participants, from possible harm, injury or litigation. So why should you listen to me? Well, I'm a professional speaker and a researcher. I spent many years interviewing successful people, finding out how they set goals. I found out they set massive goals, and to see if it would work for me, I decided to test it in the world of fundraising. And in my spare time, I raised around about £500,000 for charities, breaking 4 charities fundraising records along the way, but having amazing experiences, things that people dream of doing: climbing mountains, breakdancing, swimming with sharks, walking barefoot over broken glass and burning hot coals, living and working in a Muslim village in the west coast of Africa, flying birds of prey, powerboat racing, endurance swimming, trekking, you name it, I've done it. I've done tons and tons and tons of different things. And what I'm going to share with you on this program are some of the great ideas that I and my friends and my participants have used to raise their money for their charities, and you can do the same. Before I give you the ideas though, let me give you some background that will really help you make a difference. Number one, understand why you are doing this. Many people will have different motivations, and don't feel bad about whatever it is your motivation is. Either it's because you're doing this either because you're passionate about the cause or the charity. Sometimes it won't be the charity, sometimes it's the challenge or the event you want to do, and it just happens to be that you can do that thing by raising money for charity. So maybe it's the event, maybe it's the charity, maybe you're doing it to support other friends and family who are doing something and you just want to be there for them. Or maybe, just maybe, you've got a reason all of your own. But if you know why you're doing this, it will help you overcome any fears, procrastinations, and enable you to do more. Now, most sorry about the photo. Most people are afraid of fundraising simply because they hate asking people for money or to sponsor them for events. Please relax. I am going to suggest that you make money by asking people to sponsor you. Don't be afraid to do that. You will raise, depending on your circumstances and contacts, a couple of hundred, couple of thousand, tens of thousands of pounds. But your big money is by doing events and activities that groups of people will then pay you or raise funds for you to take part in that activity. I'm going to show you a way of making earning money and raising money for charity fun. The next thing is make your events fun, and I mean as much fun as possible. The more fun these events are for you to organise, run and set up, the more likely they are to succeed. So make sure these events give you an amazing experience as well. Also, for those taking part, the more fun they're having, the more emotions they're experiencing, the more money they're going to raise for you. Okay, 2 in 5 rule. This is my rule, and what I noticed is that for every 5 events I organised, 1 would just about break even, 2 would bomb, I'd have to cancel, postpone them due to lack of interest, and then 2 would fly. So what I suggest is give yourself plenty of time to raise your money, plenty of time. Arrange to do between 4 and 5 events, knowing that 1 or 2 of them may fail, 1 may break even, but 2 will make you big money. But if you only plan to do 1 or 2 events and 1 of them fail or break even, you'll struggle to raise your money. So plan for 4 or 5, accept that 1 or 2 may have to bomb, but 2 big ones will make you your money. But what if all 5 work? If all 5 works, you're going to smash, and I mean annihilate, your fundraising target. So remember, 2 in 5, do 5 events. Oh, and one last gentle reminder before we move into the ideas bit for events, which is just make sure that if you're collecting money, you've got permissions and permits. Don't think you can stand on a street corner in most towns around the world shaking a can asking for money. You'll get arrested. Get your official permits, get permissions to do whatever event it is you need to be doing. Don't think you can just turn up at a lake and swim or jump off a bridge doing a bungee jump. Make sure you've got the right permissions and certificates and permits. Make sure your event is insured. Use the best suppliers always. It will be worth the extra, and because they know what they're doing. And also, if you're doing an event that's a little maverick, a little out there, a little bit dangerous, maybe, and I do these things, I insure wherever possible, but some of them are dangerous. Get participants to sign a disclaimer to protect you and the charity. Okay, now one of the other things I want to mention before we get into the ideas is where to find people to take part and what events should you be doing. I always find groups of people who are nuts, I mean bonkers crazy, borderline obsessed with activities, hobbies, people, activities, anything at all. Groups of people like that will raise your money if you make an event and like a money can't buy experience for them. Okay, so make it happen. When you think of these groups of people, think about their passions, their hobbies, their interests. For example, music, motorsport, they're all big ones. People are obsessed with chocolate, people are obsessed with dolphins. I once got for musicians a signed t-shirt from the Led Zeppelin, their Robert Plant. Raised loads of money. Remember that participants or people you ask for money will be saying, "What's in it for me?" If all you do is ask for a donation or sponsorship, they'll be going, "Oh, I'm just giving you money. What for?" Give them something in return, a bang for their buck, okay? Remember, not everyone's going to be passionate about your cause or charity. Some will, but they're more likely to part with their money and emotionally connect with the charity if you give them an experience, okay? So push the activity or the event, not the charity. They will become a fan of the charity, unless, of course, your charity is a sexy one, and by that I mean things that raise a lot of money tends to be things for kids, animals, things related to diseases like cancer, etc., etc. They tend to be the slightly easier charities to raise money for. If you're doing things for African charities and disabled kids, they're not as sexy, so you need to do events that are sexy. Okay, here we go. The A to Z, over 100 ideas. Buckle up, it's going to be a roller coaster. I'm going to go at a pace, so feel free to watch it back, make notes, do whatever you have to do, okay? These, these ideas have been worth about £500,000 to charities. I hope you have fun. Okay, it's called the A to Z because we're going to go from A to Z. The A's, you can do an Abseil, an auction for charity. You get a best-selling author to do signed books at an event. People pay to come to the event, and then he gives away or auctions signed books. You can make good money. Acrobatics, archery. Oh, the Abseil. A friend of mine, he'd never fundraised at all in his life. He thought he'd struggle to raise a couple of grand. He organised an Abseil rather than did an Abseil. He got 100 people raising £100 each. Some of them raised much more, and he cleared 10 grand profit for the charity for one day's activity. So instead of doing the activity yourself, consider doing an event and other people do the activity, like an abseil. Okay, the B's are Busman's holidays, where, for example, if you're a plumber, you will donate a day's of your work time to raise money for charity. You donate your fee. So it's a busman's holiday. Be a butler for a day for somebody for a fee. Get nurses or doctors to push a bed around the streets shaking buckets. Doctors, nurses, and firemen raise loads of money. Boxing with a champion. Get rugby players doing ballet, beauty treatments, bungee jumping. The list is endless. C's, do car boot sales. Now you can get rid of your own junk, or you can organise a car boot sale, get all of your friends and family to give you £10 to put a car there and give you a percentage of their takings on the day, thus making a small event a big one. Do concerts, cycling, crazy golf, hold a kangaroo court and solve people's issues. On to the D's now. Dancing competitions, dog walking, toy dog sale, disco, dine with me. Oh, toy dog sale. I once raised quite a lot of money by buying 100 tiny little Dalmatian soft toy puppies and one ginormous one. And what I did was I sold for charity 100 little puppy dogs, and whoever gave me some money for these puppy dogs, I would then put their name into a hat, draw them out at the end, and they would get the big one. Raised a couple of grand, and it got in all the local newspapers and on local radio. So do things that are different, and it gets PR coverage for the charity as well. Consider the PR. Now on to the E's. How about writing ebooks and selling them online? How about if you're good at something, selling your services online on a website called Elance? How about selling all your junk on eBay? Or putting on an experience that money just can't buy for people who are nutters? I mean, fans. How about organising an elephant ride at the local zoo? Something really, really different, but make it different, you know? Okay, so do something different. How about asking all your friends and all your family to eBay all their junk and donate it to your charity? There are so many things you can do. Now, on this A to Z, all I'm doing is coming up with ideas that either I've used or other people have used or that you can use. As I mentioned earlier, over £500,000 have been raised using those ideas. Which ones ring your bell? As we go on to the F's, Fiverr with two R's on the end. Fiverr is a service where people do things for £5 or $5. So, what service could you offer for $5 online? You can do it in your spare time. People have full-time jobs offering Fiverr services. Go and take a look. What could you be raising money by doing in your spare time? A firewalk, a football marathon. How about getting a football signed by the local top team in your country and auction it? How about face painting at the pub? Because yeah, anyone can face paint kids, but when you've got a load of drunk rugby players, they'll pay £10 to have their face painted for charity. Consider it. Onto the G, do a garage sale or get the whole street doing a garage sale for your charity. See what I'm doing? Just think big. Golf day with a professional, garden party, gorge walking. How about you and your friends doing a garden makeover for some people and then paying you instead of a gardener? Glass walking. Yeah, done that. H is for hang gliding. I know I had a friend of mine, Lucy, she shaved her head for charity. She had this big mop of beautiful blonde hair, shaved it all off for charity. What a woman. Helicopter flights, high wire walking, or how about, like the gardening thing, doing a home decorating party where people pay you to decorate the house instead of a decorator. I is for ice. Now, I is difficult, so cut me some slack. But ice climbing, ice skating, an Indian cookery lesson, or igloo building. Why not? Why not? Try it. You never know who might get involved. J is for jokes. How about organising a comedy night or organise a coach to go to a comedy night? Why don't you get celebrities or all of your friends and family to donate their best joke, create a joke book, sell it as an ebook online? How about medieval jousting? Have a party where everyone brings their own really bizarre jelly and you do a jelly tasting and they donate money to enter a jelly in the competition. And how about jelly wrestling? I promise you that it's not any sexual references there, although I have seen bikini clad ladies wrestling in jelly and men pay for the privilege of getting in there with them. I am not condoning it, I'm not suggesting it. All I'm saying is, hey, can you raise money doing it? As long as it's ethical for you and the charity. Okay, karaoke evening, kite flying competition, it's a knockout day, karate demonstration, or get in the ring with a kickboxer. Again, K, a bit like I, a bit difficult, but there's still things you can do. Try them all. Our Laser Quest. Now, I haven't seen these for a long time, but people used to do Laser Quest events. Lorry driving or a Big Toys Day. Big Toys Day is where people like me would get excited about driving tanks, trucks, diggers, cranes, JCBs, coaches for the day, and they'll pay for the privilege. How about a lunar eclipse event where everybody's in the world organise a trip to a lunar eclipse? You know what? I quite fancy that myself. A lucky duck race. Get permission from a local authority and the river's authorities and sell yellow rubber ducks that kids have in the bath. paint a number on the bottom, and you sell a duck in the duck race. And people will pay £5, £10, £25 to enter a duck in the duck race, and it can be a massive publicity event. People line the banks. All the ducks are thrown in the river over one bridge, and they float downstream, and people are cheering rubber ducks on the riverbank. It's incredible. And like half a mile or a mile down the course, whichever duck goes through the next bridge first wins a prize. M, how about music, a pop quiz? Mountain walking. I have raised so much money from walks because they're easy to organise and people like walking, especially if it's somewhere lovely and different. How about a magic evening? Put on magicians and close hand magicians and mentalists. How about a men's health event where men get, instead of the women, because women have loads of stuff like this, but men don't. Put on an event just for men, or just for women, or just for kids. Motorsport hospitality. Motorsport again, I'm not a petrol head at all, but loads of my friends are crazy about motorsport and cars. I once got a track day at a motorsport event donated to me. You can buy these things quite easily for a couple of £100. I got 2 donated. I got a professional driver to donate his time. I auctioned a money can't buy experience with a pro driver, and people were fighting each other to outbid each other to grab that prize. All the money for charity. N, do a night hike. A north race, tell you about that in a sec. Get a large company to have a wear your night dress to work experience, and people will pay to wear the nightwear for charity. Working, I've put Nigerian just because N was a bit light, but I've worked in a Gambian village. I've organised, and I do on a regular basis, take teams who donate money to the charity and spend a week in a village. Now the North Race, I'm in the United Kingdom, Great Britain, and an idea could be for you in your country. We did it. We took people to Birmingham, which is in the middle of the country, and we gave them 6 hours to get as far north as possible. As far north as possible. The alternative is that you drop them somewhere and it's a race home. So drop them 70, 80 miles away and it's a race to get back. And of course, you take their money and their mobile phones off them. They have to hitchhike and do all sorts of bizarre activities along the way. But that can be great for teams from local companies to enter. So it's called a North Race or a race home, sometimes called a cannonball run as well. Night hikes are good because again it's different and it gets people in doing an experience they're not used to. People are used to walking in the hills in daytime. Very different experience at night. Again, use a quality and qualified mountain leader and walk guide if you're going to do anything such as that or an activity. Always use quality suppliers. The O, I kid you not, people have donated operations. We've had surgeons and doctors donate private consultations and procedures. How about, the kids' game Operation, where they try to take out the funny bone and it goes bzzz if you touch the sides with the metal? How about at your local pub or bar, get them when they're all drunk or tipsy playing the game Operation? Be hilarious. How about an Olympics themed event with activities? Get the local primary schools involved. Kids raise loads of money. Observatory evening. How about hiring the local observatory? Get a coachload of people. Easy to organise. Money. P, pub crawl. Now, I know in the United Kingdom it's quite popular. I don't know about other parts of the world, but organise a tour of the local bars and pubs with special offers on in each place for the people taking part. Poker night, prison break, birds of prey flying, prayer vigil. Get all the local churches in the area to do a prayer vigil and donate £1. Boom. Numbers mean big money. And of course, great stuff praying and getting all the churches together. Hey, different denominations. Peace, unity. Love it. Prison break. Yeah, get people locked up in the local prison cell with nothing but a mobile phone and they have to get donations up to £100 to get released. Q, quilt building. Get all the people in, all the old ladies who know how to knit, sew and crochet to build a quilt, and they get sponsored by their friends and family to have a square that they have knitted, put on a quilt and go to make the biggest quilt in the world, go for a world record or something. And then of course it gets cut up and given to old people who need a quilt. Hey, sustainability. A quiz for professionals. Get all the local lawyers, solicitors, accountants to donate money to enter a team, table of 10, and organise a big quiz for professionals. They're ruthless. They'll outbid each other. A quit smoking event. A barbershop quartet singing event. Try them all. Restaurants at home. My wife and I, one year, we got sick to death of saying, we're going to stay in touch with people. So one year we said, right, we commit. We're going to invite all our friends for dinner across the year. And what we wrote to them and asked them to put some money in an envelope as if we were going out for a meal. But they would come to us. We wined them, we dined them, we entertained them. Over the year, we raised thousands. And it was just like a dining at home experience. Rally driving, raffles. Rotary are a global organisation. They raise millions for charity, and they might even help you organise an event if they believe in your cause. They might sponsor your event or help you in some way, maybe with crewing. They are fantastic at crewing events and staffing events. They're so professional and they know all the legalities of organising an event. So consider getting other people and teams to help you run your event more successfully. Yes, sharks. Now I've organised 4 or 5 of these. I promise you. Swimming with sharks. There's even a picture of me there. Oh God. Um, yeah, swimming with sharks. Safer than you think. Get students involved. There are loads of them. Raise money. Supermarket collections. Again, get permission. Supermarket backpacks. Snake phobia busting workshops with specialised trainers. Organise swimming events or take part in swimming events. I've just recently, in 2014, I just recently took part in an endurance swim called the Great North Swim in England, in one of the coldest lakes in the country. Sharks events are quite easy to organise at big local aquariums. Some of them do dive events, and for novices as well as fully qualified divers. So just because you're not a qualified diver, don't think it excludes you. As long as you're fit and healthy and pass a medical, you can do these events. But try to think differently, okay? Try to be different, try to think big, and give people an experience that they will never forget. They will love you for giving them an experience. It's what's in it for me. You've all heard the expression, what's in it for me. Give them an experience. They will raise you money. Theatre collections. Now remember it, don't stand on the streets unless you've got permits. Get permission from the director in writing of the theatre and shake a can as people leave the theatre. Consider track days, interviewing top achievers and selling the audio recording. And table tennis, marathons, or tree felling. Tree felling? Don't know where that came from. Yeah, tree felling, why not? But get insurance. Okay, we're getting there. Unique gifts, cards, get T-shirts printed with funny slogans on. If you're in a town where there's an underground or a subway, hold a party in the underground. Again, get permission. Hold an underwater dinner party. Get the local scuba clubs involved. Or how about getting some umbrellas printed with a company's logo on, or something that is different, and sell merchandise, make products, make cookies, make anything, or just get something printed and branded and try and sell them. Get a local band or a singer to do a song just for you that you sell. So something that is absolutely bespoke, unique, and special to a certain group of people. Okay? Try it. V is for video. How about hiring the local cinema for a bespoke showing of a cult film? For example, in Britain, Monty Python's Life of Brian. I know loads of guys who would pay to dress up and go and watch Monty Python's Life of Brian with a bespoke showing at a local cinema, as long as there was beer involved, of course. How about a vasectomy? I kid you not. One of the first charity events I ever did, there was this wonderful, inspiring woman. She was a nurse. She managed to get a surgeon to donate his time to do a vasectomy operation. She auctioned it. She raised thousands. You don't know unless you ask. Some of the things people have done, honestly. Vintage car rally. Well, how about getting a group of the clergy, local vicars, priests, pastors, imams, and all people from all different walks of life, and do an X-Factor? Get people who normally are a bit reserved to do like a singing or entertainment cabaret show. Get them out their comfort zone, and you know what? Because they've got a following, People will pay to attend the event to support them. And it's the same with kids as well. If you do a kids choir event and get all the local primary schools involved, you can pack the town hall, because if little Johnny or Joanna is in a choir competition, well, the parents are going to be there, the grandparents are going to be there, and of course then, because the grandparents are there, there's no babysitting, so they have to bring their other family kids along. You get a packed hall, making money. Nearly there. W's. Walking, as I said earlier, walking has made me more money than any other activity. Easy to organise, easy to get people to take part. Get or companies or very, very highly paid groups of people to donate a percentage of their wage to charity. How about wing walking, standing on a plane as it flies? Seriously, it can be done. A couple of places in the UK alone, I'm sure globally as well. How about a wine tasting event? Hell yeah, I want to be there. Will writing, get a will writer to donate his time. Just try it. Just keep trying these events. Next, difficult one. I don't know how you can make money from an X-ray. I think this is the only one on here that actually I've just made up. I'll be honest with you, I haven't got a clue. Having an X-Factor party, a xylophone competition. Yeah, really. And as we reach the end, the Y is for a yachting regatta, a yo-yo competition, or in the UK we have something called a yard of ale, which is a long slim glass with a bulbous end. People fill it with beer and they see how quickly they can drink the beer. Now, I don't, from a health perspective, advocate this, but it's great fun. And in a bar, people will pay good money to have a go. It's about them. Give them the experience they want. And you would think, what can you do with Zeds? Well, you can have a zoo experience. How about a night? You've heard of night in the museum, night at the zoo, with some experts helping you overcome fears and phobias of spiders and snakes. Zombie party or a Zumba-thon. I didn't even know what Zumba was till a few years back. Now it's all the rage. Just try anything. Okay, action is the mother of success. Be the hare, not the tortoise. If you procrastinate and you've got a deadline to raise your money by, it'll become a last minute panic and you might struggle to raise the money. So the trick is give yourself plenty of time, start now, make sure the events are all big, allowing for the fact that two might fail, one might break even, those other two will still smash your fundraising target. Think big, make it fun, and enjoy making a difference. Remember, this is why we're doing it. We're doing it to raise money for causes that will make a difference to other people. Okay, so have fun, take action. I cannot stress, set big goals, but start now. Action is the mother of success. So be the hare and not the tortoise. Okay, so that's pretty much the A to Z of fundraising. You've had well over 100 ideas, as well as on how to raise pots of cash, by the way, as well as some advice on how to set up and run the events that will mean a higher likelihood of you succeeding and making money for your cause or charity. The last thing, although a bit controversial, I feel as though I have to mention, which is do check out your charity and your cause. Make sure you know what your money is going to be spent on, because if you can be specific about what your money is going to be spent on, people will donate and sponsor more readily. If you, for example, say it's for cancer research, people will give. But if you say it's for cancer research, more specifically a piece of equipment for the Institute of Cancer Studies at Scooby Dooby Doo University, people will be more likely to give money. Be specific. And so finally, thank you for buying this. Thank you for listening and watching. But more importantly, you can thank me by using it. Using it to have an experience of a lifetime yourself and use it to help a cause, help a charity, make a difference. To walk my talk, a percentage of all of the profits from sales of this product will be going to one of my nominated charities. Have a great time. See ya.